My name is Ava, and I am 33 years old. I work in a hospital as a nurse. My job is to help sick people, and I work long hours every day. Sometimes I work during the day, and other times I work at night. Despite the long shifts, I love my job because I enjoy helping people. Before last year, I was alone. I had no boyfriend, no close friends, and I lived by myself. I worked all the time and was often too tired after work to do much else. I frequently visited my mother, who lives in a small village. She is old, so I liked to help her whenever I could. Life was quiet and simple. Then one day, everything changed. A new doctor started working at our hospital. His name was Lucas. Lucas was 2 years younger than me, 31 years old, and incredibly handsome. He was tall, with brown hair and piercing blue eyes. He had a warm smile, and all the nurses liked him because he was friendly and kind. At first, I thought Lucas wouldn't notice me. I wasn't particularly slim or glamorous, just an ordinary woman. I didn't wear fancy clothes, nor did I have long, beautiful hair. I never imagined someone like Lucas would be interested in me. But then he started talking to me. He was always kind, asking how I was doing and smiling at me every day. I was surprised. I never thought someone like him would be interested in someone like me. One day, Lucas asked if I needed a ride home. I hesitated but then agreed. He drove me home in his car, which was quite nice, and we talked the entire way. We discussed work, our lives, and our families. I felt happy talking to him. He was easy to talk to. After that, Lucas often drove me home. Sometimes, he brought me coffee or tea at work. We would sit together in the cafeteria during lunch and talk. Day by day, I started liking him more and more. I looked forward to seeing him every day. Then one weekend, Lucas asked me if I wanted to go to the movies. We both had a day off, so I said yes. We watched a film together, and afterward we went for a walk. We talked for hours, and I was so happy. I started to believe that maybe Lucas liked me as much as I liked him. But then, a few days later, he told me something unexpected. "Ava, I need to tell you something," he said. "I'm married." I was shocked. I had no idea he had a wife. He never talked about her, and he didn't wear a wedding ring. Lucas explained that he had been married for 5 years. His wife's name was Isabella. They didn't have any children. He told me he was unhappy in his marriage, that they had little in common and rarely spent time together. He said he enjoyed being with me because I made him happy. I didn't know what to do. I liked Lucas, but I didn't want to cause any problems. I kept thinking about why he liked me if he already had a wife. His wife was probably beautiful, and I couldn't understand why he wanted to be with me instead. A few days later, something happened that changed everything. I went to a large supermarket in the city to buy groceries. As I walked through the aisles, I heard a familiar voice. It was Lucas. He was talking to someone. Before he saw me, I spotted him with a woman. I quickly realized it was his wife, Isabella. She was stunning, tall, elegant, and dressed in expensive clothes. She smiled a lot, and they were laughing together. They looked happy. I felt a deep sadness and left the supermarket quickly before they could see me. I went home and thought about everything. I felt confused. Why did Lucas spend time with me if he was happy with his wife? That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Lucas, about how kind he was to me, and how much I enjoyed being around him. But I also thought about his wife. She looked perfect. I didn't understand why Lucas would choose to be with me when he had her. The next day at work, I felt tired and sad. I didn't want to see Lucas, but I knew I had to talk to him. When I saw him, he smiled like everything was normal, but I couldn't smile back. "Lucas, we need to talk," I said. He looked at me, confused. "What's wrong, Ava?" "I saw you at the supermarket with your wife," I said. "You looked happy. I don't understand why you're spending time with me if you're happy with her." Lucas sighed and looked sad. "I'm not happy, Ava," he said. "Isabella and I don't have the connection that you and I have. With you, I can be myself. You make me feel alive." I didn't know what to say. I cared about Lucas, but I didn't want to be the reason a marriage fell apart. I decided to take some time to think. Over the next few days, I thought about everything. I spoke with my best friend, Olivia, and told her about Lucas. Olivia is always honest with me. She said, "Ava, you deserve someone who can be with you fully. Don't settle for less." I knew she was right. I had to think about my own happiness and what I truly wanted in life. A week later, Lucas called me. He wanted to meet and talk. I was nervous. But I knew I had to be honest. We met at a park. I took a deep breath and said, "Lucas, I care about you, but I can't be in this situation. You need to decide what you really want. If you're unhappy with Isabella, you should talk to her. But I can't be the other woman." Lucas looked heartbroken but nodded. "I care about you, Ava. I will think about everything. I just want you to be happy." We said goodbye, and as I walked home, I felt both sad and strong. I knew I made the right decision, even though it wasn't easy. In the days that followed, life felt strange. I missed Lucas, but I knew I had done the right thing. I focused on work and spent more time with my friends. One afternoon, while leaving the hospital, I decided to take a walk through the park. It was a sunny day and I needed some fresh air. As I was walking, I heard someone call my name. "Ava." A familiar voice called. I turned and saw Ethan, an old friend from college. We hadn't seen each other in years. "Ethan, what a surprise," I said, smiling. We hugged, and he asked if I had time for a coffee. I agreed, happy to catch up. We talked about our lives and careers. Over the next few weeks, we met often. Ethan was different from Lucas, open, honest, and easy to be around. I realized that I didn't miss Lucas anymore. As time went on, Ethan and I grew closer. One evening, as we walked in the park, he stopped and looked at me seriously. "Ava, I can't imagine my life without you," he said, reaching into his pocket and pulling out a small box. He opened it to reveal a beautiful ring. "Will you marry me?" I was in shock, but as I looked into his eyes, I knew the answer. "Yes," I said, tears of happiness filling my eyes. Life had taken unexpected turns, but in the end, I found true happiness. And this time, I knew it was real.